Hello, everyone. Welcome to a late night stream. Haven't had one of these in a while. Uh, now, typically I play video games. That's what I like to do. But I figured we're gonna have a bit of a shorter stream tonight, just because of how late it is. And I have had this idea for a while. This is a website called Housecreep. What's up, Cheese? This is a website called Housecreep, and this website lets you look at houses that have either been haunted, purportedly haunted, or had crimes like murders or fires, things like that committed at them. And you can crawl the entirety of the world. You can just look up a city and see if there's ever been a crime committed in your city, and as a matter of fact, in your own house. We won't look up anybody's specific address tonight, because I feel like that's a little bit too private information. But if you have a city you want to look at, drop it in the chat, and we will look it up. First, we're going to look up at the closest city to me, which I can tell you already. Okay. I can tell you already there's a Tampa, Kansas. 50 properties. Okay, are you going to keep having this pop up every single time? Dallas, Texas. We'll look up Dallas next. Oh, yeah, may include references to sensitive topics such as violence, abuse, hate speech, and other potentially disturbing or offensive materials. So, if anybody's not willing to listen to whatever, do I need to put some kind of disclaimer? I told you this website looks up houses that had murders. So, cemetery that was used between 1901 and 1919 gets lost. Built over it. Ooh, this actually could be interesting. Probably need a disclaimer. All right. So, from here on out, if you are not in the state of mind to be hearing about any potential hauntings or murders that may or may not have happened in these houses, stop right here. Go watch something else. I'll drop this as the only warning. It's only as effective as you let it be. So don't watch this and then get upset that I talked about it and now, you're depressed or whatever. All right, disclaimer done. We're moving forward. Let's see. All right. 4209 North 34th Street. A cemetery that was used between 1901 and 1919 gets lost, quote unquote. Several homes get built over it. A historian has identified 430 graves belonging to the St. Joseph's AIDS Society Cemetery. Reminiscing of the day their house was built, there were no houses yet, said Badgett, 70. It was just plain ground. They were digging the sewage or something. We were going to leave and they dug up a skeleton, but we didn't know it was a graveyard. A man who lived on a cemetery footprint in the 1970s occasionally unearthed bones while gardening. On at least one occasion, he placed a human bone on his grandmother's porch. She yelled to get that out of there. All right, that's funny. Hey, Eli. This is Housecreep. It lets you look at houses in any city in the world, just about. And some of them are purported hauntings. Some of them are murders. So let's see. Let's. That one involves a child. I'm not going to talk about that. Ooh, here. This one's Tampa Bay Times. Let's see. Tampa. A man was killed Tuesday when two members of the U.S. Marshal Service Task Force, a Tampa Police Department officer, and a Pinellas County Sheriff's Office deputy shot him while searching a home in Carrollwood, according to Hillsborough County Sheriff. Chad Chronister. Chronister spoke to the media Tuesday night outside the residence at 2532 Lake Allen Circle, where task force members fatally shot 26-year-old Victor Gamez after they say he emerged from a closet with a gun. Interesting. All right, yeah, we'll jump over to Dallas now. It's gonna do this every single time I look up. That's fine. I'm cool with them having their Patreon stuff. I'm not gonna pay for it. Okay, let's see. 4925 Worth Street. Woman beaten to death on the afternoon of April 19th, 1966. Grace Modine Buckaloo, age 33, was beaten to death at home by her husband. Oh, and there's an attached PDF. We're not going to download that. Give me a long one. This property was listed in the DEA National Clandestine Laboratory Registry. Law enforcement agencies reported they found chemicals or other items that indicated the presence of either clandestine drug laboratories or dump sites. Well, if you lived in 8615 Rusttown Drive in Dallas, Texas, your house is a drug lab. I hate to break it to you. I hate to break it to you. Let's see. Nope, that one's talking about kids. I don't want to talk about kids. Oh, this is a long one. 4215 Copeland Street. All you know is you've been playing too much MC. What have you done on that world, Eli? Mark Lewis, 40, was fatally shot at inside of his home. His brother Earl, a.k.a. Burris, 51, lived across the street and heard gunshots. He saw the suspect's vehicle, a small white four-door car, and immediately got into his own to follow. Burris died in a car crash chasing down the suspects. Evidence indicates that during the chase he was shot at. The brother's mother, Earline Lewis, lost 3 of her sons within a 60-day period. Jeez. Mark and Earl died the same day, and their brother Matthew died from health issues. Earline blames Matthew's death on the stress of Mark and Earl's passing. Mark Lewis's homicide remains unsolved. There is video footage of the suspect's car, possibly a Nissan Sentra, but the plates are obscured. If anyone has a... Yep, okay. Interesting. Yes! Yeah, very late stream, Tyler. How's it going? You may have a lighthouse, a village, and you're working on a dock and a machine area. Jeez. Oh, you're in bed. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm off tomorrow, which is the only reason I'm doing this. Oh, by the way, my schedule is probably going to be changing very soon here because I got more hours at work, unfortunately. I say unfortunately, I agreed to them, but I have to check my schedule again, but there's going to be quite a few days whenever I will have 8-hour days, so I'm either going to have late streams like this or really early streams. Okay, how about this one? 2728 McKinnon Street. Police were called to the glass house by Windsor Apartments when Dallas lawyer Michael Edward Schmidt, 47, told a condo complex employee that his residence was being burglarized. Schmidt then barricaded part of a hallway in the complex and began firing at officials when they arrived. He was fatally shot by police when he charged at them. His 11-year-old daughter was found in the complex unharmed. After the death, the police seized ammo and a litany of drugs from Schmidt's 19th floor condominium. Oh yeah, Tyler, you have missed a lot in Minecraft. Let's see. Let's see if my schedule for this week got changed. As of right now, no. So the rest of this week should be fine. What about next week? Oh yeah. Hour. Yeah, so we gonna be having some late streams. Some late streams. Also, Eli, I worked OBS. Seriously. Seriously, OBS? You're looking at a web page. You're not even having to record a game and you're still struggling? You suck. Man murdered at home on February 14th, 1971. 21-year-old Freddie Kerwin of 1509 Forest Avenue in Dallas, Texas was shot in the head at 11:50 p.m. It's 11:45. That is disturbingly close to the time this murder took place. Although, luckily, in a different city, and also 50 years ago. So, I think I'm okay. We got any other cities? Let's see. Let's try outside of the U.S. Let's look up... Let's look up somewhere weird, like Mongolia. I spelled Mongolia incorrectly. New Orleans will be next. I'll explore listings by countries. Well, that's funny. US 29,000 everywhere. There's so many others that have one. What's the one listing in Ireland? Ooh, this is a big one. There are a lot of murders in Florida, unsettling when you unravel it all. Oh yeah, Florida's full of murders. Let's see. So 33 Prussia Street in Ireland. Margaret Hogan is a woman who is suspected to have died of spontaneous human combustion. Huh? On March 28th, 1970, 89-year-old Hogan was found dead in her residence, 33 Prussia Street, having been burned almost completely to ash. Reportedly, all that was left of her was 2 ankles. She was found dead in her arm. No. Of course. I mean, she said there was ash. Like, of course she was dead. A television set nearby had a melted screen. The only extensive fire damage appeared to be near Hogan's body. Investigators were unable to find a cause for the fire or an explanation for the extent of the fire, and it was suspected to be a case of spontaneous human combustion. What? Okay. I'm glad we checked up on Ireland. That was interesting. Jeez. Of all the things I was expecting to read about today, spontaneous human combustion was not one of them. 25-year-old Dolores Jones was fatally shot in her second-floor apartment during a domestic dispute. Her ex-boyfriend, 27-year-old Jamal Holmes, was arrested for a murder. The father of the victim described Holmes as a stalker. That's unfortunate. Maplewood Drive, 44-year-old Helene Jackson Smith was fatally shot multiple times and her 4-year-old grandson severely injured. Okay. At their home during a drug-related robbery, 23-year-old Thomas Lamb pled guilty to the murder and assault. The case was covered in the TV show The First 48 Hours in the episode Bad Medicine. Interesting. Humans been spontaneously... No, combusting. Combusting, not busting, Tyler. Calm down. Calm down. Ooh. 6990. Nice. Nice. Michoud Boulevard. The site of the abandoned Six Flags New Orleans. When the park was operating, a 52-year-old woman was struck and killed by a ride vehicle on Joker's Jukebox. The property was damaged well beyond repair by Hurricane Katrina in 2005. Many trespassers have explored the abandoned park since then. Interesting. I kind of want to... This is a much brighter webpage. I kind of want to see the abandoned Six Flags. We'll look that up in a minute. I want to look that up on a different webpage, but we'll pull it up if it's interesting. Abandoned Six Flags New Orleans. Document? Oh, there's a documentary for it. Interesting. Well, excuse me. Ooh, here's another interesting site. Abandoned America. Hello, can I see my other Opera tab, please? Thank you. Okay. So this is the abandoned Six Flags. When updated February 8th, 2023. This is another thing that's super fascinating to me. Is abandoned locations. I wish it wasn't illegal to explore abandoned locations because I'd love to do it. I know a lot of people do it anyways, but I'm just not willing. it's a shame that stuff like this happens. I don't like the graffiti. Uh, I don't like the idea of adding to the disrepair, but I love watching YouTube videos of people exploring these. Is this gonna be a video or is this just an interactable? Okay. Uh, People exploring these places is so fascinating. Jeez. Good grief. What is happening in my chat? Oh. See, like, I'd love to get permission to film here. Like, film a like zombie apocalypse thing here. That'd be really cool. I love watching those two. Big creep and nostalgia simultaneously. Oh, dude, nostalgia. I was watching some guys go through a mall that closed in the mid 2000s, and it was literally like a time capsule of when I was a kid. Oh my gosh. Most of the time it isn't enforced as long as you aren't disruptive. Although I have seen a lot of people get caught for trespassing. Like, they will still tag you for trespassing. I don't love that people come in and have to tag everything with their stupid graffiti. Just leave it in its natural state of disrepair. I'm not going to read most of this stuff. I really just wanted to see the pictures. Rules state you have to be trespassed before being arrested. Yes, but if it's posted around the area that you will be a trespasser, you can be prosecuted without them having to actually trespass you. Like, if the area is closed off, you can't enter the area and be like, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to be in here. Like, if there's a posting, you can get arrested for trespassing. Yeah, you might have watched the same one I did, Tyler, because absolutely, I was watching these guys walk through the abandoned mall, and I'm like, oh. It hit close to home. I was like, this is when the mall was cool. I still enjoy going to the mall sometimes, but... Oh. I just got a bunch of pictures here. It's the jester all tangled up. And vines and everything. Boarding pavilion for the Mega Zeph roller coaster. Ticket booth. That was really cool. All right, back to Housecreep. Let's see. It's only trespassing if you get caught. Yeah, that's actually the theme of quite a lot of the videos that you can find on YouTube. Where they're like, yeah, we have to hide from the police because if they don't catch us in here, they can't say anything about it. Antoinette Frank was a New Orleans police officer when she and her then boyfriend Roger Lacaze killed Officer Ronald Williams and siblings Ha and Kuan Vu. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Owners of the Kim An restaurant during a 1995 robbery. She's currently the only woman on Louisiana's death row. Interesting. Ooh, this one's recent. In December 2015, 25-year-old Lionel Delpit and his 8 months pregnant partner, 23-year-old Breon Stewart, were found shot to death inside a Chrysler PT Cruiser outside their apartment in the Wind Run complex in New Orleans. Their murders remain unsolved. The body of 33-year-old Tanya Elliott was found inside a white Chevrolet Colorado pickup truck parked in the rear of the Wind Run apartment complex. She had been shot multiple times. Elliott's family could not identify the owner of the vehicle. This is the best videos to watch. Love just zoning out in that. Remember when going to the mall was fun? Now it's just expensive and boring all the same. You're not wrong. That's actually, I wonder if I could find a video, pictures, not a video, but oh, okay, that is not whimsical or cheery at all. That is haunting. Yeah, we'll pop that over. Why is Opera such an asshole about this? No, I didn't want to open another new window, you freaking stupid suck. Add that tab there. Thank you. So this is the image I was greeted with when you watched at a movie theater and it was being monitored while they were deep in the cinema, so they hid in a staff room for almost an hour. Yes! That is the same one I watched. Yeah, this is haunting. Metro North Mall in Kansas City. Lincoln Mall in Chicago. Mall in Maryland. I gotta be honest. I would be afraid to go into a lot of abandoned places. Not just because of the idea that you're trespassing, but, I mean, look at how unsettling these are. I think... Oh, gosh, to go at night? To go at night? Yeah, that would be horrifying. Are you kidding me? Like, even during the day, a lot of these feel like you're not supposed to be here. I mean, look at this. This does not look welcoming. Can you imagine that at night? Oh, gosh. Don't say let's do it. No. I don't know how long ago that video was, Cheese, but I remember... I watched it like a month or two ago. Yeah, you don't know what on earth has made a home in there, including diseases. Like I've seen a couple of these guys that explore abandoned areas, and there's one they're looking at. They're like, "Oh yeah, we want to go into the basement of this hospital," and they go down the stairs, and it looks like the ground, and one of them throws something and it splashes. I was like, oh, that was water. That's stagnant water. That, because it's stagnant, completely not moving in the bottom of such a dank area, probably has like a brain-eating amoeba in it or something. You know, like some horrifying disease that would ravage you. Not to mention, you never know when the floor is not going to be very stable or the roof isn't going to be stable, and you could get seriously injured in one of these places. This is beautiful. I really like this picture. This picture isn't as creepy as a lot of the other ones. This could be an album cover. They can't go in certain rooms because the mold is outrageous. Yeah, that's another thing, mold. Like, you've got to bring masks, you got to bring first aid kits. It's such a sensitive task. Okay, those are fun, creepy malls, but I'd like to look up. I'd like to look up less creepy ones. What was that site we were just on? Abandoned America. Abandoned America. Not homes, entertainment and commerce. That's probably. Okay. You know a place where you live? It's an abandoned motel, though. It's mostly destroyed and only one floor. Yeah, I don't think we have any places nearby where I live that are abandoned. Typically, the second something gets abandoned, it gets demolished and gets replaced. It's real life adventuring. I hated that this right here looked like a human shadow in the background. That's a cool display piece. Oh, also mannequin ass right there. Like, this is a structurally beautiful mall. Like, all the way they have the skylights in and everything. And this little thing right here. This is a very pretty looking mall. We have a lot. Oh, well, there's in Tampa, yes. But I mean, even in Tampa, a lot of the things are like small houses that are just fenced off. It wasn't extremely dangerous in most cases. They probably wouldn't give much of a crap as long as people weren't vandalizing. Yeah, but I mean, it's at the same time there's people who are prospective buyers and, you know, people who want the land. So yeah, it being extremely dangerous is definitely one of the things, because they don't want people breaking in and then getting hurt and being like, they let me on the property, this is their responsibility. There's freaking idiots ruining everything. I love the single Christmas tree here too. That's pretty great. Oh, dude, pallet jack, let's go! upgrade the Lowe's at our mall that's been shut down for years. What? I don't know what you're talking about. How about an abandoned parking garage? An abandoned parking garage. There's not going to be a whole lot there. All right, well, don't... Don't say the name of locations near us. You got to be a bit more careful than that, my friend. But yeah, okay, now that you say Sears, yes. I know what you mean. Yeah, we don't have any abandoned malls like this near us. Oh, well, come on, monitor. You could make a series of the group of us doing real-life adventures. Yes, but I'd prefer real-life adventures that weren't illegal. Is it a cross-country chain? I did not know that it was a cross-country chain. Oh, there's even in Europe. There's only 16 in existence, though, in the United States. I'm gonna go ahead. Don't mention that name anymore, Tyler. I don't know. I want to play it safe, okay? Oh, what does that say? School uniforms and more. When did this mall close? In 1991, the mall's Easter Bunny got into a scuffle with one of his helpers and her boyfriend, and a year later, a woman sued, claiming that she was attacked by one of Santa's helpers during an argument over her child's photograph. Freaking Easter Bunny throwing hands. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. Interesting. Interesting. Drop us in the wild with a time limit to get to civilization. That sounds like a terrible idea. March 2009 is when this mall went out. Yeah, honestly, this does not look like it's in that bad a shape. You don't know why you always call Sears Lowe's? I don't know. Okay, the inside of this theater though is in awful shape. This is also terrible. Uh, a terrible setup for a theater. The people are all at the same height. How, like, if you're back here and there's anyone in one of these rows, they're gonna be in your way. Who designed this theater? What's this? This restaurant was hidden behind drywall for decades after it closed, as evidenced by the advanced deterioration and mold damage. Interesting. This is a freaking Teddy Ruxpin. Oh, holiday decoration remains at Randall Park Mall, seemingly defiant towards the abandoned building's impending destruction. Yeah, I love that he looks completely clean too, except for this little like burn mark or whatever this is up here. Like he's completely spotless. Like he's just been the guardian for them all. You get a large forest right behind your house. Yeah, I don't know that I'm on board with Eli's idea of let's just wander off into the wilderness. Oh, mall security office. Look at how many... Wait, can I zoom in on this? I can't. Look at how many cigarettes are on this table. That is insane. Theaters, department stores. Oh yeah, the president heads. I'd love to go see these. If anyone doesn't know what these are, oh, have a good night, Eli. If anyone doesn't know what these are, some guy carved all the president's heads up to... Is it George Bush? It's quite a lot of presidents. I think it's almost all of them. He carved into these giant heads, and they're just left here out in the field. The Enchanted Forest. Ooh, this is just various malls. Interesting. Interesting. Some of the videos you've watched, people find that entire collections of docs, employment history, photo albums, and expenses are just completely left behind, which is extraordinarily surprising. Yeah, the one I watched actually had like a bunch of security tapes from the mall hidden in there. Like just left. They could just watch the security footage from when the mall was still around. That's interesting. Yeah, geez, they absolutely. There's a ton of stuff they leave. When some of these places close, it's like they literally just walk out and forget the place ever existed. It's what people are super obsessed with the whole liminal space thing. This has always creeped me out more than a liminal space. Oh my gosh, I hate the "we miss you." Like how everything looks almost Right. Like, this is where people are supposed to be, yet there's nobody. This is far more off-putting than the liminal spaces. Some of these pictures. Seems like a liability concern for employee privacy and stuff. Oh yeah, I think most of the time they kind of have the assumption like no one's gonna come through here, and even if they do, any information they could gather isn't that important. But you would think they'd be more diligent about that. Look at this freaking graffiti over here. Like an abandoned world. Yeah, exactly. It's like a peek into what everything would look like if there was a zombie apocalypse, or if there was some kind of apocalypse where most of humanity just died. Like, look at this. This is not nearly as off-putting as that other site that was specifically about creepy malls. But it's certainly, there's something unnerving about it, and I would not want to be here. Yeah, this is an immediate. This does not pass the vibe check. I like. Has anybody seen? I don't know if anybody watches Windigoon, but there's this. I don't know if you could call it a creepypasta or what, but it's this thing called the Rolling Giant. And so what it was is it was like a decoration to make sure. That's not what I wanted to do, you freaking stupid idiot piece of crap opera. Add it. There. Thank you. This is a decoration inside a mall. And the mall is now abandoned, but this is what it was. Well, somebody took it. I guess people were exploring the mall and they found it, and they saw this thing in the distance, and it's turned into its own little horror icon. And like this is a video of it. Somebody made, and it is freaky. I will admit, it is freaky. If you want to see it, Windigoon played a game that was located in an abandoned mall that it chases you around in, and he just gets so unbelievably scared of this thing. I was like, okay, that's a little unsettling. He was like falling apart. He couldn't handle it. Most companies are bound by state laws that compel them to maintain the privacy of employee information for X amount of years after employment ends. Yes, that's true. Then there's the fact that if you're in there and hear a distant noise, you really have no way to discern if it was something falling from decay or the boogeyman stalking you. Oh, this is an interesting place. Is this like a mini golf course? Second oldest theme park in the U.S. after Disneyland. Wow. $1 for adults. And 50 cents, I'm assuming it was supposed to say for kids. Jeez. All right, enough looking at abandoned places. Back to houses with dead people. More reasons to own a sword. Oh, I own a sword. I don't know. Oh, the mic should pick this up. Oh, yeah. That is a genuine katana right there, my friends, that I found at a garage sale for $20. Post in Discord? Okay, yeah. It actually is, for a $20 sword, it's a pretty cool, it's not like one of those cheap katanas you would buy online. It's got a lot of really cool engravings on the pommel, and I don't remember what the piece that it's the hand guard, but it's a specific name on katanas, and I don't remember what it's called. But it does have a really cool engraving. I'm surprised the guy was only selling it for 20. Actually, I think I got it for 15. I think I haggled the guy. But yeah, I'll take a pic real quick. What phone? It's not sharpened. It's got a slight edge. Suba. Yes, thank you, cheese. It's got a slight edge to it, but I definitely need to sharpen it. But yeah. This is the okay, I got a couple pictures to post. Oh yeah, app, did I break my previous record of steps? I seriously doubt that. But since you decide not to track my steps half the time. Okay. How did the poor guy over $5 for his awesome katana? I did. As a matter of fact, I didn't even have to try that hard. I was just like, hey man, due to unfortunate reasons, all of my money is in ones. So, and he's like, that's fine, just give me 15. That'll be easier. Should you go to bed? You should go to bed, cheese. You don't have to stick around for the entire thing. It's going to be up tomorrow. I probably won't be going for too much longer. Because I do have to sleep. Let's see. Let's go back to explore. I want to see. Any Russian? Any Russian? No. We got Czech Republic. Top location, Chicago. Who would have guessed? Kalamazoo. Ooh. Albuquerque. Albuquerque. Chicago. Oh, yeah, sure. You can accuse me of going to the strip club, Tyler. Oh. Okay. Hold on. Content advisory may contain historical records with outdated, offensive language. We gotta look at this one now. Quoted from the original police record, man beaten to death, fatally assaulted in a home with a blunt injury at the hands of his son Helmuth, who 10/8/22. Okay. My name is Clear. I really want to know what language it's talking about. It might be all these historical ones. That might be a lot. Yeah, like a race riot. Yeah, we'll move on from this one. I don't want to get demonetized. It's from the 1800s. Could be anything. You are absolutely correct. Oh my gosh, so many of these are content advisory. 38 Service Street. Quoted from original police record, double homicide. Miller, Miss John, 25-year-old Martha, 2.5-year-old, and Mary, 1.5-year-old. Murdered, shot, and cut at home by husband and father John Miller. Oh. Who attempted suicide by cutting throat and was taken to Alex Rose Hospital. Sentenced October 19th, 05 to hang. Hanged February 16th, 1906. Oh, all of these things are linking to that homicide in Chicago one, which that's why they're all saying. You should say I shouldn't read that one. I want to get monetized. Yeah. Yeah, I suppose I could be saying that too. Let's pop over to Australia. Let's check out what wacky and wild shenanigans Australians are getting up to. Let's see. Michael was found covered by a bedsheet and tarpaulin in the garage at 9:45 on 2nd January 05 by his estranged wife and daughter. The daughter, age 15, claimed to have first noticed a smell like something rotting before seeing the blankets and the blood. The realization hit her when she saw her dad's sunglasses hanging out the end closest to her, and a bit of his thongs? Flip flops. Other places in the world call flip flops thongs. That took a second. I was like, what? Uh, During the call to 000, which is apparently the Australian emergency number, the estranged wife was too hysterical and the phone had to be passed to the daughter. Police described the family at the scene as devastated. Well, yeah. When examined, there were 3 fatal lacerations found in the head and 1 defense-type injury to the wrist. The injuries had been sustained from an unknown blunt instrument, and a wood splitter found in the house was one of the items seized during investigations. Through decomposition analysis, the attack and killing was determined to have occurred between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. on the 29th of December, and the body had lain undiscovered underneath the bed sheet and tarpaulin for 4 days. Michael's wallet and mobile phone had been stolen, along 2 pages from Michael's diary with $1,000 from a safe, to which only 3 people have the combination. There were 2 life insurance policies valued at $1.54 million, to which his estranged wife was the beneficiary. Was it solved? Why did I do this and not Hellblade? Because I didn't want to do a long stream, and whenever I play Hellblade again, I want to try and finish it. But it's like, I really don't want to come home and have to, like, play until 4 o'clock in the morning. Don't call them toe thongs. Don't call them that. Don't do that. Okay. Stacey Michelle, 1990 to 06, was a British girl living in Australia who was murdered at age of 16 on 18th December 06 by couple Jessica Stasinowski and Valerie Parashumti. She was bludgeoned with a concrete block and strangled with a chain. Her corpse was found in a wheelie bin shortly afterwards. Stasinowski and Parashumati had known Mitchell for 3 days and claimed they murdered her because they found her irritating. Jeez! Okay. You bet the Aussies would approve? Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This address is the location of Lions Taekwondo and Martial Arts Academy, owned by Kwang Kyung Yu, also known as Master Lion, to his students. Police allege that after class on Monday, February 19th, 2020... Wait, what? This is recent! Oh! 2024, you strangled his 7-year-old student and the student's 41-year-old mother, Min Soo Cho, at the studio. You then drove Cho's car to her family's Balkham Hills townhouse at 23 Watkins Road and murdered Cho's husband and the boy's father, Hyun Soo Stephen Cho. That night, Yu admitted himself to the hospital with multiple stab and slash wounds. At the time, Yu claimed that he had been attacked at a car park. Police first discovered Stephen Cho's body on Tuesday morning, which prompted an investigation and the discovery of the remaining bodies. Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't like how recent that was. Ooh, this one's not a murder, but a haunting. Growing up in this house, I saw shadow people. A young preteen teenage girl in a white dress, and had objects moved behind my back. Two psychics refused to step foot in this address because of the negative energy. Ooh. Spooky. The NFL's true crime houses? Yeah, let's check this out. Why not? Dinner on the Mall thing looks like it's part of a bigger chain that has 3 different names depending on the region. 72 total shopping centers, and 38 of them go by the same name as ours. Interesting. I want to look at some haunted ones. Hold on, can we get haunted ones? Yeah, sure. Man suffocated by coal in the basement. Okay, that's not haunted, but whoa, wait, is this all at the same address? Yo! Okay, wait, hold on. This goes deeper than I expected. Okay, for nearly 2 years there have been shadows, lights, orbs, and sounds that cannot be explained. EVPs have been captured. Dogs wake from their sleep, growling and barking in the direction of the hallway or kitchen, but nothing is ever there. Voices can be heard. Usually they sound as if they are coming from the basement or the office, which is off the kitchen. The feeling of someone watching is sometimes overpowering. Front view is misleading. House is nearly 2,000 square feet. Jeez, that's a big house. Chain found near grave. Dogs were going wild. I grabbed my camera. This is what I captured. There were 4 shots. With each shot, the shadow got closer. This is the last shot. What shadow? Is it this little shadowy blotch? One of the abandoned places vids you watched was a dude who went alone in the middle of the night and was literally yanked off the block he was sitting on and knocked out for hours. That's terrifying. More bones uncovered. A renter's dog dug up the bones of a human arm. When the dog got into the basement, the renter moved and no other bones were discovered to my knowledge. Oh, wait, we can go. So this is the original. So in 1940, a man suffocated by coal in the basement. The house was empty in the winter of 1940. Story goes that a homeless man was sleeping in the basement during a cold snap. At some point before Christmas 1940, the house was sold. The new owners ordered a load of coal to be delivered. The police surmised that when the coal truck dumped the coal into the basement, the homeless man was sleeping below the coal and was smothered. Oof. Natural causes. Female owner of the home found dead in pantry of a heart attack. So in 1983, 43 years after the guy died under the coal chute, woman died of a heart attack. The next year, home inspection unearths bones. The bones of a man killed in 1940 were discovered when a pest control guy came into the house to do a termite inspection that was required when the new owners bought the house. The coroner's office removed the body, leaving a grave-like indentation in the basement that remains to this day. 86. Unsolved murder. Police discovered the body of a man who had been stabbed in the chest. They say his body had popped, indicating he had been down there for some time. He was never identified. It was assumed that he was living in the basement, had gotten into a fight with a companion, and stabbed. That was the end of the investigation. There's still a bedroll in the basement that I was told belonged to this man. More bones uncovered. Human arm and the dog got into the basement or removed and no other bones were discovered. And then fast forward to 2014 when... Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that this place... So, check the time. $12:44. I wouldn't doubt that this place has something. I'm not a... So, okay, let me... I don't believe in ghosts in the typical sense of like, you know, ooh, spooky ghost haunting a house. But I do believe in the supernatural. I mean, because the Bible literally talks about demons entering our world and possessing things. So that kind of thing wouldn't surprise me if there was some sort of demonic presence in this house. But definitely a creepy house. You don't know what you believe specifically, but people shouldn't push it and mess with stuff. Oh, yeah, exactly. See, that kind of stuff never messes with me because, like, I'm never worried about demonic presence or anything because, the Bible has talked about it. They flee at the name of God. Like, literally, if you say the name of Jesus, they're terrified of it. And I know I've got God with me, so supernatural stuff like that doesn't really scare me. Physical threats in the tangible world, however, I actually have a funny story about this. So I went out with my friend one Halloween, probably back in 2020. I think we were at our little Halloween party for work, and both of us were like, we're kind of sick of this. So me and her were like, we're gonna go find somewhere haunted. I was like, I don't know that there's anywhere haunted in our area, but I do know a very creepy park. So let's go to the park. We go to this park, and it is very creepy there at night because it's like you got the little area where there's like the bathroom and the playground and everything, and there's lights at the bathroom and a little light near the playground, and then it's a giant field with trees on the horizon. There's a couple of houses scattered around, but just not a great location to be in at night. Well, both of us start getting the feeling that we're being watched. Her first indication is Skinwalkers. We're being watched by skinwalkers. Oh no, something supernatural. My first indication is there's some cracked out druggie hiding under the playground staring at us, debating whether or not he should come and try and eat our face. So I have my knife pulled, like ready for some hobo, high on whatever kind of I can't say the word that starts with a D. I'll use the Fallout term, Kims. High on Kims coming after me. Like, I'm ready to fight. And she's like, oh no, Skinwalker. And she's like, I think we should leave. I'm like, yeah, I think I agree. I also think we should leave. Alright, yeah, 3 Ontario homes that might be haunted. Let's check this out. Ooh, is this going... Okay. So I just read a story by Andy who apparently had some spooking in old Abbott House. Only the story he tells is only kind of what we went on in the whole detailed list of who lived where in the house in 93, 94 is a little off-putting. You see the second floor, there were only 4 rooms, only one of which was a single. By the way, I'm Wheels and I had a single room. I kind of hope Andy got his dates wrong unless he's the ghost and I simply didn't notice I was being haunted. Oh, okay. Don't be trying to talk to the dead or go to the haunted places. You're just asking for trouble. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, you're not supposed to talk to the dead. Whether you're religious or not, I don't think it's a great idea to continue visiting places where a bunch of bad / strange / unexplained stuff has happened. Yeah. Well, and that's part of the reason that I'm like, yeah, I don't want to go there. I'm like I said, I'm not overly afraid of interacting with that kind of stuff. Because I know I'm protected from it. But it's always the physical world that has me more worried than the spiritual world. Because physical world, I can get attacked by somebody and there's not much I can do about it. It's going to be a little bit more difficult than dealing with the spiritual world. All right, let's check this out. So this is 754 Water Street. In my first year at Trent University, 1993, the old historic home of 754 Water Street was still being used by Trent as a student off-campus residence. It's called Abbott House. On my freshman tour of the campus, our guide told us it had a reputation for being haunted. I asked him about it. He said that the previous year after reading week, the students that remained behind to stay at Abbott House were camped out in the common living room area because of disturbances that were troubling them. I shrugged it off as harmless campus rumor. I moved into Abbott House and lived in a bedroom on the second floor. For our group that year, incidents did not begin until the place emptied out and only a handful of us stayed behind during spring reading break. The activity was confined to the second and attic floor rooms. By second floor, I mean above the main floor. This house has 4 floors, including the basement. On the first day, most of the students left the light for the attics. This is not well written. On the first day, most of the students left. The light for the attic starts at the top of the stairway. Would not keep a light bulb. The bulb would spark and burn out no matter how many times we replaced it. We never had trouble before, so for the rest of the week we just left it out and had no light there. I always think about what could potentially happen in any situation. Sometimes your best chance of survival is a head start. Oh yeah. You got to be conscious of everything. One of the attic rooms was supposedly locked securely when the student left for home. I did not know she had left, so I went and knocked at her bedroom door. It opened up, and I walked into her room, thinking she was there. Then the student in the room next to me told me she had already left for the week as she saw her lock up and leave when I checked the knob and it was still locked from the inside. During the night, the one remaining student in the attic rooms that week told me one morning she was kept up all night by incessant murmuring and chatter in the room next to her. The two guys that used that room were also gone for the week and it was locked and empty. She asked if it was us or if I knew who was up there. But the few of us that remained on the second floor were asleep in our beds. This occurred past 2 a.m., well into the morning. No one could explain that occurrence. My housemate in the bedroom next to me on the second floor came home one night to Abbott House alone from studying late at campus. No one else was at home that night as we were all out drinking at a bar very late. The next day over breakfast, she told me she was reading at her desk in her room and the sound of loud and frantic whispering occurred in our hallway on the second floor, but she knew no one else was in the house. At first, she tried to dismiss it, but she said it just got louder and louder and closer until it was right outside her door. It frightened her so badly that she ran to the bed and threw the sheets over her head until it stopped. Okay, that's such a cartoon-ass solution. She said it felt like forever, but only lasted a few minutes, then stopped. After that, she threw a mattress in my room and stayed for the rest of the reading break. My own personal experience was just after reading break. It happened in a full house in the middle of the night around 3 a.m. I was awakened from a deep sleep to the sound of a very loud and frantic scratching sounds behind the wall beside my bed. Bolted upright and tried to determine the source, but it sounded like it was happening all at once, all over the whole wall, and in the closet at the same time, and I could not pinpoint it. It sounded unnatural in the sense that it was as if something was trying to escape in a panic from the wall. It was confusing and I could not understand how it did not wake up the entire house, but I told myself if it continues for one more minute, I'll go wake up the others in the hall. And as I had the thought, it stopped abruptly. I had only ever heard it that one time. The next morning, I asked anyone at all if they had heard any such thing the night before, but no one did, and they slept well. Trent eventually gave up its lease on the property. It used student housing, and it changed hands to Yes Shelter, which functions as a transitional shelter for youth and families. I can only say what our experience was during our time there. I cannot speak for any resident of the Yes Shelter that any such incidents continue to occur there. College to library at your school was 7 stories, with each increasingly higher floors supposed to be quieter and quieter depending on your study needs. The bottom floor was super loud, and people just hang there for lunch and socialize. The top floor was supposed to be quiet enough to hear a pin drop in the carpet. Took the elevator to the top floor on your own once just to see what it looked like, and the doors opened. You heard the deafening silence and seen nobody on the entire floor and said nope and left immediately. Yeah. So as much as I am a what's the word? Not a social person. A social butterfly, I suppose you would say. Areas like that, where it's just like nothing. That can mess with me quite a bit. I get really like I used to when I used to stay out real late with friends. We'd be out until like 1 or 2 in the morning. And, we'd just be going around doing stupid things, but you stop at a gas station at 2 in the morning, and you walk in, and, like, the one employee who's there is in the back for something, so you're by yourself in this gas station. There's something incredibly unnerving about that. Like, I don't know, chilling in my own house by myself, I'm cool. It doesn't bother me. But being out in public and being all alone, it's a weird feeling, man. It's a weird feeling, and I don't like it. The one exception, I did love going before the whole COVID thing. The Walmart near me, or at least one of the Walmarts in my area, used to be 24 hours. And me and my dad all the time, like 2 o'clock in the morning, we're like, hey, need something from Walmart? Yeah, let's go to Walmart. Just hop over to Walmart at 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, there's like 4 employees total in the store and maybe 2 other customers, if that. And you just stroll right on in, just hang out for a little bit. That that was strangely relaxing. I don't know why, but there was something relaxing about it. But being in a place that it's like, it feels like I'm not supposed to be here. Yeah, that's weird. I kind of want to go to that library now, though. I want to see that library. Oh boy, I can barely breathe through my nose. Well, I do think, okay, hold on. Oh. Oh. Let's go back to abandoned. Let's look at a couple more. Healthcare. Abandoned asylums and institutions. Ooh. That is a scary picture. Just because of this, like, I would not be willing to stand here. Oh, this is especially unnerving. Oh, abandoned prisons would be a nightmare. Actually, I think there's a... Yep. Oh! Oh! I hate this image. I hate this. I hate this even more. Abandoned asylum cliche, but it's for a reason. Yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh. The way the paint is peeling off the walls and the ceiling and those great doors. Oh my gosh, this is... Oh my gosh, Tyler. Good grief. Some things you gotta keep to yourself, man. Oh my gosh. Dude, I hate the way the paint is peeling off the walls. It's so unnerving for some reason. Oh gosh, this is probably an isolation room. Because this is less unsettling than a lot of the other parts. The catacombs in Europe. Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh, the freaking jumpsuit or whatever that is right there. Okay, that... I hate that. I hate that image. Okay, that one's a little bit more goofy, but... Okay, get that off screen. See some catacomb pics so you don't sleep tonight. Let's see, we got catacombs, but industry. Yeah, let's find some catacombs. That's what we'll end off with. We'll look at some interesting catacombs pictures. Are these like actual pictures, or is this just random Adobe stock photos? Eh. Seen in a video of an abandoned nuclear reactor, and that blew your mind too. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ooh, here we go. You can actually go on a tour through these catacombs. I don't know if I like that. Let's see if there's anything else interesting on here before I pop up the catacombs. Lost ships, that's interesting. Wait, Cornwall iron mines? Did he actually go into the mines? Because if he did, that could be... No, it doesn't look like it. I was going to say, that could be especially creepy if he went into the mines. Your friend said they aren't going to visit you? Caves are also the worst thing ever. Oh yeah. Yeah, no. Caves are like the one thing that like don't I don't want to hear about caving accidents. I've heard about too many and they're terrifying. It's awful. Who on in their right mind would ever want to go cave diving? I don't know. I don't think you're in your right mind if you want to go cave diving. Personally, you know, not to offend or anything, but good grief. I'm not claustrophobic either, but caves do. Because the idea, there's a difference, I believe, between being claustrophobic and being intelligent. Because, you know, sitting here and being like, yeah, I'd like to be in a spot in my life where I don't have to suck my gut in to get around a rock. You know, like, oh my gosh, go look up the story of the Nutty Putty caves, and you will never want to enter a cave ever again in your entire life. Um, I mean, there's a lot of them. Just look up caving accidents on YouTube, and you'll find plenty. More than your wildest dreams. Okay, stairs leading down to the Paris catacombs. Steep, narrow, and old. See, this actually could be pretty cool to go on a tour of because it's all lit up. Nutty Putty Caves. Yes. Look it up, Cheese. The caves got their name because the material, the mineral in which the caves was made up of was it was still a rock, it was still solid, but it was almost clay-like in a sense, where it like you could push down on the rock and it would implant your hand into it. It was a well-loved cave because it was considered a super easy cave to dive in. It was not a big deal. You know what? Screw the Paris catacombs. Nutty Putty Cave. So this is a map of the cave. I need a better map. There we go. So this is Nutty Putty Cave in Utah. The entrance is right here, and this is not a stand-up cave. This is not a cavern. I will clarify this. Caverns are fine. I have gone through 2 separate caverns. The Florida caverns up in northern Florida, and the caverns up in Missouri. I don't remember what they're called, but they're the caverns that Jesse James and his gang hid out in. Both of those were really cool, but you have to consider cavern, wide open. Legitimately, the Jesse James cavern was like 50 feet high at some points. So it like massive underground areas. That does not bother me. This, when you have a freaking section called the aorta crawl or the birth canal because of how freaking tight these caves are, that's a nightmare. That's a nightmare. So what happened, for anybody who wants to know, is John Jones and his brother, his whole family. The whole family was here. This is John Jones. So him and his brother were deciding to go to the more difficult part of the cave. Most of the rest of the family stuck around the easier parts. The big room, the maze. These were considered the easiest parts of the cave. This was not a difficult cave to cave dive because by all rights, the whole thing had been mapped out. Almost the whole thing had been mapped out. Any areas that weren't really accessible a lot of the times had been blocked off. There was a lot of precautions taken. Well, they decided to go to the more difficult area because they wanted to go down the birth canal and the aorta crawl down deeper into the cave. Well, they made a mistake because when they came to this fork, instead of going this way to the birth canal, they went this way to a dead end of the cave. I wish I could zoom. But, oh, there we go. Once again, still not super zoomed in. But they ended up down here, and they end up down one of these paths. I believe it's this one right here. And John decided to proceed because he believed he was going down this mapped area. And he sucks his gut in to get around this rock. Gets down into a position where he is laying stuck with his head facing down. So he's stuck with his feet above his head, which, for those who don't know, is not good to stay in that position for a prolonged period of time. The blood rushes to your brain and you die. So he got stuck. His brother tried to get him out. He couldn't. So his brother makes his way out of the cave. They call 911. Rescuers get into the cave. And to make a long story short, they spent 25 hours trying to get him out unsuccessfully. And unfortunately, he got stuck there upside down and died. They got so close a couple of times too. Really, really unfortunate. Oh my gosh, there's no way I stumbled upon a Saddam Hussein meme. But I want to see, is there any, this is a great YouTuber, by the way. Fascinating Horror. If you ever want to see some interesting... I want to see some pictures from the inside of the cave. This is the outside. This is the entrance into the Nutty Putty Cave. I'm assuming that's pictures from the inside. Yes, this is the position he got stuck in. Except I don't know if he knew how much further down. Like if he was sitting in like this. I don't think he was. But they used a lever and pulley system to try and pull him up, and unluckily one of the bolts busted and he fell back down. A real shame. But that is why I will never enter a cave like this. And I think that is the perfect place to end this little horror abandon / murder stream. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching, for hanging out for such a late stream. I will be back tomorrow with New Vegas at 4. We're continuing our Eat Everything run. And I plan to be playing for a long time tomorrow. But, yeah. Have a great night, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you tomorrow. Peace out.